The Sun City Resort is a jewel in Sun International's crown, attracting millions of visitors each year. It is a lush green paradise surrounded by a spectacular mountain backdrop. Hello there and welcome to round 5 of the Donaldson Cross Country Championship taking place here at Sun City in the Pilanesberg. We're expecting a weekend of absolutely top-notch racing. Things are still very tight, especially in the Class A as well as the SP class, but it is still anyone's to win. All roads lead to Sun City and the championship could not be more competitive as Castrol Toyota and Ford Racing battle it out to take the outright lead in the SP class. Let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're here for. You know, to win the individual races is great, and that's what we've got to do. But at the end of the day, we're out for the championship. So this is a critical turning point. We've managed to win the last 2 events, and the desert race being 1.5 points was key to our championship positions.
It's been an unbelievable season. We're at the halfway point, and we're in a fortunate position where we're leading the championship, although it's a tie leading for the championship. But after 4 events, we've had 4 podiums, so it's been a great year for us so far. But yeah, certainly the pressure's on. We need to really perform at this event.
The pressure certainly is on as we enter the 5th round. Who will break the deadlock? Will it be Anthony Taylor and Dennis Murphy or Chris Visser and Japie Badenhorst? Both teams are tied at the top of the leaderboard on 85.5 points.
And look who that is, hard at work preparing for his debut race for the Regent Racing team, our very own Derek Alberts.
I'm nervous. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't, but I'm also extremely excited. I mean, it has been a big build-up, and I spent a lot of time with the various celebs that have taken part in this initiative, and the usual reaction up front is they cannot wait, and then afterwards it's a very different feeling. Luckily, last week I did have a bit of a test session which went really, really well, and I think being so close to the Donaldson Cross Country Championship has given me a better insight into how things work.
Good luck, Derek. Now, the Sun City 400 is the flagship event on the Donaldson Cross Country calendar, and there really is something for the whole family.
First start in qualifying, Visser and Badenhorst from Ford Racing, the pair coming off the back of a 2nd place finish in Botswana.
2 minutes behind them, the men who are looking for their 3rd victory on the trot, Taylor and Murphy from Castrol Toyota.
The pair lived up to their reputation on a fast and open route. They were quickest in qualifying in a time of 43 minutes and 57 seconds.
Finishing in 2nd place, 28 seconds behind the leaders, the other Castrol Toyota Hilux of Force and Howie, the pair experiencing no problems along the route. Former champions Visser and Badenhorst broke the Toyota stranglehold by finishing 3rd fastest, as they came in 1 minute and 29 seconds behind the leaders.
They only had 3 seconds in hand over Ford Racing teammates Lance Woolridge and Ward Huxtable.
In only their 2nd outing in the Atlas Copco Nissan Navara, the experienced pair of Gary Berthold and Siegfried Rousseau were 5th fastest.
But breathing down their necks and fresh from a podium finish in Botswana, Hiku de Bruin and Henry Hiku 6th in the Micron XL Toyota Hilux.
De Bruin and Hiku had a minute to spare over fellow Northwest crew Malcolm Koch and Johan Berger.
Just 6 seconds further back, the Trisom Racing pair of Dion Fent and Ian Palmer, having a clean run but found the pace extremely fast.
Credited with exactly the same time of 47 minutes and 33 seconds, the Regent Racing father and son team of Jürgen and Daniel Schroeder.
Another Northwest crew were a further 7 seconds adrift, with former SA champions Jannie Visser and Joks Leroux in an RFS Toyota Hilux completing the top 10.
A lot of drivers spoke about how important it is to do well in qualifying in this specific event. Let's see if it holds true. Anthony Taylor and Dennis Murphy getting the vital pole position ahead of race day. The Castrol Toyota pair just 28 seconds clear of teammates Duncan Force and Rob Howie.
From the productions to the special vehicles featuring the likes of Philip de Vries.
You have certainly taken to this like a duck to water in terms of your first year here at Nationals. What would you attribute your success to?
Jong, ja, dit is nou interessant. Ek is baie opgewonde oor dit. Ons eerste jaar dat ons nasionaal ry. Ek moet sê my onderhoudspan is baie goed op die kar en dis ook my neef Johan Viljoen. So ons doen al die onderhoud self. Ons is seker dat die kar reg is. Ons het nog geen breuke gehad die jaar nie, behalwe vir die Botswana reis my laaste loop hierdie radkas gegaan. Maar so die onderhoud dink ek is goed want ons doen dit self.
Just like the production vehicles, it's tight at the top of the special vehicle standings. Herman and H264 from Elegant Fuel lead the field on 56.5 points, but they're just 2.5 points clear of Evan Hutchison and Dani Stassen.
The marathon event in Botswana claimed many as special, but given the distance and the speed of this race, the flag is there for the taking. The Silvalts, Herman and Vichard hit the course first.
For 2012 Sun City 400 winners Lance Trethewey and new navigator Spencer Kriel in the LT Earthmovers bat, it was a day to remember. They topped the timesheet in 46 minutes and 50 seconds.
The pair managed to eke out a 4-second advantage over Mark Corbett and Julian Hardy, who pulled off their best performance of the season.
A further 20 seconds back, reigning South African champions Evan Hutchison and Dani Stassen in the Motorride Bat Viper. The pair had to deal with a faulty gear shifter, which they're hoping to sort out before race day.
Just 3 seconds behind Neil Mayer and Joseph Lewis from Maxis Liqui Moly Rockstar. Colin Matthews had to say goodbye to his previous co-driver Alan Smith, but in came Rodney Burke for this race, and the duo were the quickest in Class P in their Century CR3.
The closely bunched top 6 was completed by former SA champions Quinton and Kali Silvalts in the Elegant Fuel Bat Venom.
Jimmy Zahos and Stefan Kutsia came in 7th in the new Cobalt Racing Striker. Not bad for their first appearance in 2 years in what is a South African designed and built car. So Trethewey and Kriel on top in a time of 46 minutes and 50 seconds ahead of Corbett and Hardy, while the Motorride Racing bat pair of Hutchison and Stassen came in 3rd quickest. With qualifying done and dusted, let's head to the start for race day.
Here you are on the start line. You excited?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, we've at least we got a good starting position. I see the wind's on my side. So I think the dust is going to be a big factor for the guys behind me. But yeah, just keep it clean, nice, and have a clean run. Dennis must just keep himself well on the notes and keep me on the road, and I think he'll be good.
It's going to be a good race today. Everything's going to be fine. There's no wind this morning, so the dust can be a bit of a problem. But it's the same for everybody, so we just got to go and do our best.
Confirmation of the start list, a Castrol Toyota 1-2 up front, with Taylor and Murphy leading the field ahead of Force and Howie. Visser and Badenhorst from Ford Racing will start in 3rd place.
The race got off to a delayed start as safety precaution out on the course saw the route cut by 10 Ks. Taylor and Murphy finally got proceedings underway, looking to make the most of their 28-second lead over Foss and Howie. The Ford Racing Rangers not far behind them.
After winning the Toyota Dealer Sugarbelt 400 and the Toyota Kalahari Botswana 1000 Desert Race, Taylor and Murphy are undoubtedly the men to watch in this extremely fast race in the Pilanesberg. Taylor finished 2nd here last year alongside Chris Birkin.
They may not have won any races so far, but Foss and Howie are always competitive and will want to improve on their 7th place finish last year.
Visser and Badenhorst are currently in 3rd place, but they had just a 3-second lead over Ford Racing teammates Woolridge and Huxtable.
Speaking of which, we're on board with the pair now, looking for their first finish since winning the RFS 400 in March, and they really are motoring, so much so that they've overtaken their teammates and moved up to 3rd place.
Not good news for Visser and Badenhorst, dropping down to 4th. Certainly not where they want to be if they want to overtake Taylor and Murphy at the top of the championship standings.
Well, they're going to have to do a lot of overtaking if they want to move clear in the championship, which is not easy in this dust.
Currently lying in 5th place, Gary Berthold and Siegfried Rousseau from Atlas Copco, looking to make a statement for Nissan.
The masters of consistency, Iku de Bruin and Henry Hicko in 6th place, although the drivers had to overcome an unfortunate tummy bug.
The first of the specials and the first in Class A, the team from KwaZulu-Natal, Trethewey and Kriel in their LT Earthmovers bat. Lance looking for his 2nd successive win in the Pilanesberg.
Currently 2nd in the special vehicles and surrounded by dust, Mark Corbett and Julian Hardy from Century Racing.
Confirmation as to just how dusty it is. Even the many fans are struggling, although I'm sure it's tougher in the car, albeit that Evan Hutchison and Dani Stassen from Motorride are looking comfortable, 3rd in their class.
Still early stages as we're inside the first 50 Ks. This is the leading Class P vehicle, Colin Matthews and Rodney Burke from Century Racing. There was heartbreak for Matthews in Botswana as he was forced to quit the race while leading on the final day. He'll be hoping the same fate doesn't befall him this time around. Tremendous driving as he overtakes the Maxis Liqui Moly team of Neil Mayer and Joseph Lewis.
That's dropped Meyer and Lewis to 5th in the special vehicle category. The conditions make it almost impossible to overtake, but unfortunately for them, it didn't stop Matthews and Burke.
Championship contenders Quinton and Cully Silvalt in the elegant fueled Bat currently lying 5th in Class A. They experienced high engine and gearbox temperatures during qualifying. Let's hope they've managed to rectify it all.
Well, the Koch & Sons Toyota Hilux of Malcolm Koch and Johan Berger experiencing life for the first time in the new V8, which Malcolm admitted was a huge challenge from the V6.
On board with the Trisom Racing pair of Dion Fenton and Ian Palmer, they've just been overtaken by another pair of elegant fuel Silvalts, Hammond and Vichart.
The Silvalts haven't stopped there. They've just flown past Jimmy Zaus and Stefan Kutsia from Cobalt Racing, pushing them up to 6th.
Fenton and Palmer's Hilux left in the dust, but they remain 8th in the SP class.
Zaus and Kutsia said the route was very rough first time out, and they needed to sort out small issues on the new car following qualifying.
No issues for Hammond and Vichart. They're absolutely motoring and climbing places in the process.
The first of the Regent Racing vehicles, Jürgen and Daniel Schroeder, in 9th place at the moment.
Rounding off the top 10 in SP class, for now, Visser and LaRue in the RFS Toyota Hilux.
Second in Class P, and also from Century Racing, Guy Henley and Martin Hermida, Guy having taken over the driving duties from Ernest Corbett, who did qualifying.
Right behind them, the Motorride Racing Bat of Nick and Ryan Harper. The route is very narrow and we've got a long line of cars back to back. Next in line, Marius Ferry and Jaco van Aert in the PHB Bat Spec 4.
Well, they just keep on coming. Peter Ruthven and Rian Gulpa from Rubicon Racing. There really is nothing to choose between these vehicles, even though the route is so fast. And there's Derek with Archie Rutherford in the Imperial Automotive Navara, the only SP sandwich between all these specials. Daniel Brooks and Gavin Gray, Decatur's Properties Bat, hot on their heels.
I really had no idea how close they were. So after the first 50 kilometers, the Castrol Toyota crew of Taylor and Murphy holding onto their lead ahead of teammates Foss and Howie. Woolridge and Huxtable have taken over 3rd place from their Ford Racing teammates Visser and Badenhorst.
In the special vehicle category, Trethuri and Creel are still in front, followed by Corbett and Hardy from Century Racing.
Back with our leaders, Anthony Taylor and Dennis Murphy. We're at the 140-kilometer mark as we approach the DSP. While they are in front, their lead has been cut significantly. Right behind them, teammates Duncan Foss and Rob Howie.
Now remember, these two started the day 28 seconds adrift, and that's definitely not the case now. Some superb driving from the pair as they have the front runners in their sights, and we certainly have a race on our hands.
That we most certainly do. Still in 3rd place, Woolridge and Huxtable in the Ford Racing Ranger.
The men they overtook earlier, teammates Visser and Badenhorst, holding on to 4th position. They actually finished 4th here last year.
The baby blue Nissan Navara of Gary Berthold and Siegfried Rousseau of Atlas Copco in 5th position. It's only their 2nd race in the car. Gary and I actually had a bet as to who would finish ahead of who. Sad to say he's well ahead of Archie and I. Motoring along as the leading special vehicle, Trethuri and Creel in their Bat Spec 2. The pair look well on course to secure back-to-back wins in the Sun City 400.
2 Century Racing vehicles currently locked in battle. We're on board with Matthews and Burke, who are gaining ground on Corbett and Hardy. And there they go, overtaking the pair to move into 2nd place in the specials, although they are 1st in Class P.
It means that Corbett and Hardy have now dropped down to 3rd. It certainly has been brilliant action from the 2 Century Racing teams. It proves once again why this is the marquee event on the Donaldson Cross Country Championship calendar.
We spoke earlier about how well the Silvalts from Elegant Fuel were doing, and here's confirmation. Quinton and Cully are currently in 4th place, having started the day outside the top 5.
They've overtaken the Motorride Bat Viper of Hutchison and Stassen, who are now 5th in specials but 4th in Class A.
From one group of Silvalts to the other, also gaining positions, is the striker of Harman and Vichart. 6th place overall for them in the specials, meaning they've made up 2 positions since the morning.
Well, it doesn't look good for the Toyota Hilux of Malcolm Koch and Johan Berger. Remember, they're in a brand new V8. Let's see what happened.
Front prop shelf
broke. So early in the race.
Yeah, so early. Bad luck.
Do you think you can fix it?
Yeah, we're trying to.
Try. We're going to find out if they have one now.
Doing two-wheel drive for the rest now, just to finish the first loop.
Let's hope that they make it back. Also down a position, Neil Mayer and Joseph Lewis from Max's Liqui-Moly Rockstar.
With Koch and Berger sidelined, that's opened the door for Dion Fenter and Ian Palmer from Trisome Racing. They've currently moved up to 7th place in their Toyota Hilux.
But it looks as if they have an opportunity to move up to 6th. Up ahead, Hicho de Bruin and Henry Hicho, but moving very slowly. And there goes Fenter and Palmer. 6 it is for the pair.
Back to the specials, and Jimmy Zahas and Stefan Kutsia have dropped a place. They're currently 7th in their Cobalt Striker.
We were expecting to see Jürgen and Daniel Schroeder. No sign of them though. It's De Bruin and Hicho in 7th place.
And finally, we do have the Schroeders, the leading Nissan Navara in the Regent Racing stable. They are currently in 8th position.
And in the distance, Jannie Visser and Yorks LaRue in 9th spot. The Northwest crew and former SA champions going well in an RFS Toyota Hilux and looking well set for a top 10 finish.
Philip de Vries and Johan Viljoen have climbed a place in their Porter. They're lying 8th amongst the specials.
Congolese driver Eduardo Agazzi and South African teenager Adrian Rutz aren't far behind in their Batspec 4. This race truly is going at breakneck speed and is by far and away the fastest one that we've seen. And it's almost bumper to bumper out on the route. The Harpers Nick and Ryan following up in their Motorite Bat Venom.
Century Racing's Guy Henley and Martin Hamida have dropped down to 11th place amongst the specials. However, they are 2nd in Class P. Matthews and Burke flying the flag for the Ps up front.
As has been the norm throughout the race, trying to chase them down, the Ducatis Property Batspec 4 of Daniel Brooks and Gavin Gray, which obviously means they overtook Derek and Archie a little earlier.
Beautiful footage from inside the Conqueror Porter of Philip de Vries and Johan Viljoen. They're gaining ground on Ogazi and Adrian Rutz. The Bat tried to overtake, and while it looked good at first, it's turned out to be nothing more than a straight dice. De Vries and Viljoen holding on to their position.
While some are just enjoying the slowest side of life out there, Derek, I hope that you're going faster. But it doesn't look like too much because there you are being overtaken once again.
With the fence to your left-hand side, keep going, just carry on.
Wow, Derek, I'm impressed. You seem to know what you're doing in there.
It was tougher than I expected, but I did manage to cope, although it didn't stop Graham and Trevor Leith from overtaking us, as you so conveniently did point out.
Well, that puts the Leith father and son pair into 10th spot, pushing you guys outside of the top 10. Ouch.
There's still an entire loop to go, Leanne. There's nothing to choose over here as Clint Gibson and Gary Campbell from Dirt Sport Components attempt to overtake Peter Ruthven and Rian Gulpe in the Rubicon Bat.
And through they go, much to the delight of those with the front seat of the action.
Two of the more popular men in the Donaldson Cross Country Championship, Johan and Vanna Horn from Mullilan Toyota, currently 1st in Class D.
Loop 1 done, and first at the DSP, Taylor and Murphy from Cashville Toyota.
Soon followed by Foss and Howie, Woolridge and Huxtable, and Fiss and Badenhorst.
The first section was quite fast, I think. It became very technical and tricky and a lot of follow markers, so yeah, the wrong slotted and Lance passed us there. But then we're there, all the 4 cars close together, so yeah, it's going to be interesting the second week.
Taylor and Murphy then with a 40-second lead over their teammates Foss and Howie, while Woolridge and Huxtable have climbed to 3rd, with Ford Racing teammates Fissett and Badenhorst in 4th spot.
Moving to the specials, now one thing I realized while navigating is that while the GPS is there and you have your road book, it's still very hard to find your way around.
A lot of follow the markers through the trees and through the bushes, and we've got lost, I think 3 times. Each time we've lost the positions. We've had a terrible lap, we've just gone backwards from 3rd to 6th place and having a good run. I mean, no problem, it's just trying to find the route was quite tricky. So, let's go back out there and try and make up some of those positions.
Hutchison and Stassen currently 6th in their Motorite Racing Bat Viper, well behind leaders Lance Trethuri and Spencer Creel. Matthews and Burke are second in their Century Racing CR3, while Corbett and Hardy are third in the Century Racing CR4.
We're back en route with our leaders, Taylor and Murphy in the Castrol Toyota Hilux. They admitted at DSP that the beginning of the loop is very tricky, and we're well aware of their teammates Foss and Howie right behind them.
Speaking of which, here they are, making good progress in the second half of this race with approximately 170 Ks to go.
Still lying in third place, Woolridge and Huxtable in the Ford Ranger.
Fisset and Badenhorst not far behind, still hurting after their navigational error allowed their teammates to go past.
Looking very good in fifth place, Berthold and Rousseau from Atlas Copco.
Trithui and Creel still holding fort in the special vehicles category. They are masters of this event.
Second in the specials, but first in Class P, Matthews and Burke from Century Racing.
Another Century Racing vehicle, third overall and second in Class A, Mark Corbett and Julian Hardy.
Wouldn't be long until we'd see a Silvault somewhere. Still in fourth place, Quinton and Cully from Elegant Fuel.
And behind them, the other half of the racing family, Herman and Vichard. They've climbed a spot and are in fifth place.
Not long to go, we're at the 260k mark and Castrol Toyota's Taylor and Murphy lead their teammates Foss and Howie. No change to the top 5.
In the specials, Trithui and Creel are still out front with Matthews and Burke behind them. Corbett and Hardy are fourth, followed by the two sets of Silvaults.
Barring catastrophe, I cannot see Taylor and Murphy and their Hilux giving up their lead. They are looking very good and proving exactly why they've won 2 races on the trot. That said, the last part of the route is very challenging. It throws a bit of everything at you. And even though you think the end is near, there's still a lot to overcome.
They are looking for win number 3 in a row. And ironically, teammate Foss and Howie captured a hat-trick last season, but their run was broken at this very race.
And just as I spoke about not being too confident, Chris Fiss and Jampie Badenhorst are back in third place. It means that they've either overtaken Woolridge and Huxtable, or their Ford Ranger teammates could be out.
Well, they're not out. They're going along strong, but in fourth place.
A Toyota flag waving in the distance, rightly so, as they look headed to a 1-2.
The first Nissan Navara belonging to privateers Gary Berthold and Siegfried Rousseau from Atlas Copco. They hold on to fifth.
We have a new leader in the specials, no Trithui and Creel. This is Colin Matthews and Rodney Burke from Century Racing. Incredible considering that they're competing in a Class P vehicle which has a smaller engine with less horsepower.
With Trithui and Creel AWOL, the Century Racing CR4 of Corbett and Hardy has snuck into second place, while they're also the leading Class A brigade.
Closely followed by the Silvaults, but it's not Quinton and Cully, it's Hamlin and Vichard from Elegant Fuel. They've made up 2 places and are lying third.
Well, there's still no sign of Quinton and Cully. Instead, it's the Motorite Racing Bat Viper of Evan Hutchison and Donnie Stassen, just off the podium at the moment. Hopefully they won't get lost this time round.
Dion Fenter and Ian Palmer from Trisome Racing have had a very good race, so much so that their Toyota Hilux has gained a place and they're currently in 6th position.
Back to the specials, and we haven't seen any sign of Neil Mayer and Joseph Lewis or Jimmy Zars and Stefan Kutsia, and that's allowed Clint Gibson and Gary Campbell to claim 3 positions.
Finally, Lance Trithui and Spencer Creel, heartbreak for the former leaders outside the top 5.
Philip de Vries and Johan Viljoen are 7th in the Conqueror Porter. Not bad considering they lost a spare wheel and have no GPS.
Yanni Visser and Joks Leroux are down to 7th in their Toyota Hilux. Yanni complained that while the route was lovely, there was just too much dust.
As is evident by the trail in his wake, this has been a fantastic run from Nardus and Louis Alberts. They are in 8th place. Phenomenal. They started the day in 48th place.
Unquestionably one of the drives of the day, much like these men, Michael Whitehouse and Matthew Carlson for Regent Racing. They're in 8th place after starting the day in 34th position, having endured numerous problems during qualifying, including 2 punctures.
And mere seconds behind them, their teammate Archie Rutherford and his guest navigator Derek Alberts, currently inside the top 10. They're just ahead of Marius Fourie and stand-in navigator Jacob van Aert in the PHB Batspec 4. The pair have climbed to 8th, the top 10 finish looking on the cards.
Nice overtaking there from Johan van Staden and Mike Lawrenson in the Atlas Copco Toyota Hilux. They're in 10th spot, having made up some good ground along the way.
Lying in 9th position in the specials, Nick Harper and Ryan Harper from Motor White in their Bad Venom.
No surprises to see what's happening in Class D. The ever-successful Horns, Johan and Vanner from Mulholland Toyota, leading their contemporaries in the Toyota Land Cruiser.
But all eyes on the finish, and it's another victory for Anthony Taylor and Dennis Murphy from Castrol Toyota. They never looked like losing their grip on first place, and they've claimed victory again. And we've said it before, but it's worth repeating, their 3rd win in a row.
Absolutely superb. It's exactly what we wanted. Dennis stayed on the notes today brilliantly. And I must say, I'm getting used to the taste of this stuff, and I want to just try and keep it there as much as possible for the end of the year. And gives us a firm lead in the points now in the championship. So, yeah, no, it's going very, very well.
They finished 55 seconds clear of teammates Foss and Howie, while Visser and Badenhorst in the Ford Racing Ranger just cracked the podium. Their teammates, Woolridge and Huxtable, ended 4th.
As for the specials, Colin Matthews from Century Racing achieves what he couldn't manage in Botswana, taking and keeping 1st place and doing so with a new navigator.
Yeah, we had an awesome race. Rodney, new navigator, came on board, and he did a great job. You know, there was big shoes to fill, and he did it really well. And at times he even lost GPS and that, and still managed to stay on the notes. So I'm very happy, and Rodney did a great job. The car ran well. The guys who work on our car are just like really special, and it was really awesome, and good to be finishing 1st.
In 2nd place, Hammond and Vickard Sulvalt in the Elegant Fuel Striker, 1 minute and 36 seconds adrift, while Mark Corbett and Julian Hardy from Century Racing round off the podium.
The sun is setting here at Sun City. It has been an absolutely fantastic weekend. We're all covered in dust, but we have big smiles on our faces, and I think it's true to say that the bug has definitely bitten. Don't miss next week's episode of Inside Cross Country as we take you behind the scenes to all that happened here at the Sun City 400. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Next week, we look at the Sun City 200,
uncover the battles within the classes,
and discover new developments within the championship.
Don't miss it on Supersport 8 on the 13th of August at 8 p.m.
The Donaldson Cross Country Championship, brought to you by Donaldson Filtration Systems, a market leader in filtration solutions.